You ever be craving for some Cinnabons and then you go up online, search it up, Cinnabons, and then you see the price and be like,
what? Oh, hell no!
That's
hell no! Whoa!
Yeah, me too. So, let's make some even better Cinnabons from scratch. Alrighty, so first up we're gonna grab a glass bowl and slap in 4 whole cups of all-purpose flour. We're then gonna add in a half a cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and stir it all up and move to the microwave. So for that microwave, we're gonna heat up about 1 whole cup of milk.
Hey, what up, baby? Come on, give me some of that leche. Damn, daddy.
After it's done heating for about 30 seconds, we're gonna stick our big old finger right in there and make sure it's nice and warm. And it should be slightly above your body temperature, so warm but not boiling hot. Or, if you want to ensure that milk is not gonna kill your dough and yeast, slap a thermometer in it, and it should be in the ranges of 100 degrees and 130 degrees. Anything above that, then that yeast is gonna die. And then you're gonna think that, oh my gosh, Felix made a terrible video. Why would he post this on YouTube? Guess what? Report! And then guess what's gonna happen? I'm getting email from YouTube saying that, hey, guess what? You suck, you're fraudulent, and guess what? From YouTube, and guess what? You're gonna be homeless now and live on the streets. And I was like, haha, I don't make revenue, so cause I'm not homeless yet, yeah. Anyways, speaking of yeasty, we're gonna slap in about 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast, instant yeast to be exact, right inside our warm leche cup. We're then gonna set that to a side and grab some butter, about 1/3 a cup, butter dog with the butter, and microwave that sucker for about 30 seconds or until it's melted. We're then gonna pour in our warm yeasty milky and our buttery goodness into our dry mixture. Once we're done with that, we're gonna add in 2 whole eggs and then knead it until it comes together. We're then gonna plop it right on top of our floured counter and then knead it for an extra 5 minutes or until it's nice and smooth, ensuring all that gluten is nice and worked out. After that, we're gonna cover up with a glass bowl for about 15 minutes and then make our brown sugar mixture. So for that brown sugar mixture, all we're going to do is put about 7.5 teaspoons of cinnamon right into a bowl. We're then going to add in 3/4 cups of brown sugar right to the bowl and give it a good mix and then set it to a side. After that 15 minutes is up, we're going to grab our dough and then start rolling it out. So when rolling out this dough, all we're really trying to do here is make a nice rectangle that's about 1/4 inch thick and as even as it can be. Once we do that, we're going to melt about 3 tablespoons of butter and then slap that sucker all across our dough. I actually like using melted butter for this step just because it's so much easier to get a nice even distribution. How you say that? Distribution. You know, distribution. Alright, so once you're done getting a nice coat of butter all over your dough, we're going to grab our brown sugar diabetes mixture and then sprinkle that sucker on top. We're then going to pat that brown sugar down as much as we can and ensure we got a nice thick sugary layer all across our dough. After that, we're going to give it a little roll and slap even more buttery goodness right on top. We're then going to add some more brown sugar mixture and repeat these steps each time we roll our dough. So we're going to do this once again. And again. And again. And again. We're then going to chop it up in about 8 pieces and place it inside a 12-inch pie pan. After that, we're going to cover it up with some foil and then let it proof for about an hour or until it's double. One thing that I do when I let it proof is actually I put it in somewhere warm. So you can put it like above your oven, in a closet, above your granny's greasy forehead. I kid. Or anywhere warm so that yeast can let out all its gases and farts to make your cinnamon rolls nice and fluffy. One thing I like to do when doing this is also I like to put it inside an oven that's been turned off at the lowest temperature. So basically mine goes like to 170, right? So I place my buns inside, I turn it off, and leave it there for about an hour or so until it's double. This is probably like the fastest way to proof your buns without having a proofer. So I definitely recommend this if you're in a drier climate or if you just ain't got no damn time for that. So while that's proofing, let's get started on our frosting. So for that frosting, we're going to grab a bowl and place in a half a block of softened cream cheese and 2 tablespoons of softened butter. We're then going to cream the 2 together and then add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla and then add some powdered sugar. So if you like that frosting a little bit creamy, a little bit cheesy, then add only about 1 cup. But if you like that frosting like a toasted strudel frosting, you know what I'm saying? Got a little creamy cheesiness, got a little sweet flavor to it. Add about 2 whole cups of powdered sugar. We're then going to stir that sucker up all together and then set it to a side. Now let's get back to those proof fluffy buns. So So for those cinnamon buns, what we're going to do now is brush on 3 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream right on top. This just makes sure our buns stay ooey gooey when they're done baking and don't dry up during the baking process. We are then going to pour in the rest of that butter we had from earlier and as well as that brown sugar mixture. Once we're done with that, we're going to cover it up and bake it for about this many minutes or until that internal temperature hits about 200 degrees. After that's done baking, we're going to put some frosting on top and it should look a little something like this. What y'all know about Clario? Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you can try these out. Again, thank you and have a good day. Peace!